Hey, what's up, psychopath? How you doing, bro? How you doing tonight? Thanks for watching. I appreciate you for being here, bro. Any new moves now? Not really, man. Still practicing. I'm not gonna lie. As the once great death sentence said, I don't really think about moves a whole lot. Like I do understand their names for certain movements, and we refer to these movements as techniques and whatnot, but technique is incredibly important. I'm not disregarding technique at all, but I guess what I'm trying to say is when you put a name on everything, when you put a name on everything and you give everything a label and you try to recognize everything, it can be a little overwhelming to the brain. Synapsis works in a lot of ways, but I guess my point is multitasking the thought and the action, like seeing something happen and then thinking, hey, I should do this, and then seeing something happen and then just actually doing it are two very different things. You know what I mean? So I feel like, and I'm not saying like rely off of reaction and, instinct only. That's not at all what I'm trying to get at. But what I'm trying to say is that, technique is to be recognized and understood, but not to be like obsessed over. You know what I mean? Um, I should understand my weaknesses and I should understand my vulnerabilities, and I should do my best to try to build my strengths to compensate for my vulnerabilities, to defend my weaknesses. Um, the point being here is that if I waste too much time, trying to think and trying to prepare, like there's only such a point of preparation to where you should just, you know, understand that something is happening and that uh, my reaction and that my style and my technique should be I should be competent enough in my style and my technique to, and my reflexes and my instinct to make it easy for me to win. Oh, I see what I did now. And that's my point in the end. Not easy for me to win, but make it proper for me to win. Like, try to cement that, as much as possible. I'm a StreetBeefs fighter, yeah. No, I'm not a soldier. My dad was in the military, but I'm not a soldier at all. I'm a warrior, but I'm not a soldier. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you for being here. Much love. How did I learn to wrap my hands? Practice. YouTube videos. Tony Jeffries. There was a couple different sources. Tony Jeffries. Fight Science. Not Fight Science. I mean, Fight Tips. Shane Faison. I cut my finger earlier. My bad. All right. I'm gonna do some jump rope. Thanks for watching, everybody. Lay down. Lay down. I gotta jump rope. Oh, like this way specifically? No, I kind of like mixed a bunch of different ways and just kind of started doing it on my own. You like it? Pretty cool. There was a dude I know who was a pro fighter who kind of taught me a little bit about how he wrapped his hands, and I liked that, so I took that way and I kind of used it for a while, but then I started changing it up because there was something that was coming loose, and then I mixed it with another way that I was doing before that I'm pretty sure it was the way Tony Jeffries does it. I don't know. There was a few different ways, but then I ended up just having it end up like this. So thanks, guys.
Round one.
Oh, go lay down. Go lay down. I don't believe in any gods.
Round 2.
Like work, huh? This is easy, huh, Adonis? Easy stuff. Getting stronger every day. Stronger every day. Woo! Yeah, I'm a simple guy, man. I don't have a religion. I don't believe in that God stuff. I've learned about a lot of it, though. I think it's fun. I think it's cool things to, learn about. Thank you all for watching. Much love, guys.
Round 3.
Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you for being here. Much love, guys. Thanks, guys.
Round 4.
You're awesome, psychopath, man. You just gotta kind of ignore that stuff and move on with life. That guy's one of my biggest fans, bro. He watches every single one of my videos. He's been here just about as much as you have. Oh, was that?
Round 5. Round 6.
What's that? My inside pants are falling down. Damn swimsuit.
Round 7.
Street Beefs isn't a joke, man. Like plenty of the people from Street Beefs go to pro, go to amateur. That guy doesn't even know what he's talking about. He'd never get in Street Beefs a day in his life because he know he'd lose. And he probably even never fought in his life. He probably never even trained in a gym. The guy knows nothing about fighting. He knows nothing about Street Beefs. He knows nothing about training. Let him comment what he wants. I really don't care anymore. He spent at least 24 hours of his life watching me straight and commenting dumb bullshit easily. And all I'm going to keep doing is showing up, training, proving him wrong, doing my thing. I love this. This is my life. Boxing is life. No boxing, no life. If I have a God, it's boxing. Boxing's number one. This is my life. I don't believe in God.
Round 9.
Hey, Black Poison, what's up? Thanks for watching. Thanks, Eduardo. Thank you for watching. Thanks, Soul Brother. I appreciate you for watching. Psychopath, much love, guys. I appreciate you for watching.
Round 10.
Thank you so much for subscribing, Soul Brother. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. My next fight, it should be this month or the beginning of next month.
Round 1.
Yeah, I fight. My next StreetBeefs fight, I don't know when that'll be, but I have my amateur fight book. I'll be having my amateur boxing debut this month or next month. You can watch all my fights on my channel or on StreetBeefs.
Round 2.
Thank you guys for watching.
Round 3. Round 4. Round 5.
I already did conditioning. You're late for that. I wish I could do backflips, bro. Hitting the bag is not about hitting hard. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It's just an exercise. I'll save the real hard hitting for my fights when it's important. I'm going inside right now. Let's go inside, Donis. Yeah, I like to jog. gonna be chilling on my couch for a minute.
I don't want your money, man. I fight because I love it. I don't fight to prove anybody wrong. I don't fight to do anything but enjoy myself and be happy and follow my dreams. If I win by knockout and you're surprised by that, dude, all the better. That's cool, I guess. I'm doing my best to do my best, and that's all I gotta say. I don't have an opponent's name, and also you don't know your opponent's name until you show up the day of during amateur events. Pretty much just like Street Beefs. Only a couple times did I know my opponent's name before I fought at Street Beefs. One of them was because it was a beef fight, and the other was because I fought during the anniversary, and we had like pre-matched, or like, you know, we had predetermined matches, and that was when I fought Mr. Man. In amateur, it's just weight class. I could fight somebody who's had hundreds of fights. I could fight somebody who's had 0 fights. In Street Beefs, it's by skill. They say anyway. They say it's by skill. So, but sometimes I think they do just have to choose like fights because people will bail or whatever, you know what I mean? So they have to find somebody to replace. I like knockouts with body shots. It's harder to knock somebody out with a head punch. You can put somebody down with a body shot, and you're more guaranteed to make sure they don't get back up, or at least if they do, you can just hurt them again pretty easy if you know what you're doing and if you have the time. So that's just what I'd be aiming for, is body shots. I'm a body snatcher, man. I just like to hit people in the liver. Death Sentence. Me and him are friends on Facebook. I think he's a pretty cool dude. I wish he was just a little bit more respectful maybe to his opponents, but I don't really care. It seemed like his opponent wasn't the nicest guy either, so um, peace to death sentence. He's a cool dude, and I'm glad to see him finally get his first win. Why do I like to hurt people? It's just who I am. Last time it left me an opening going for the body. Um, that's just like I was talking about earlier. All fighters have weaknesses. All fighters have strengths. One of my weaknesses is I left myself open when I was attacking one of my opponent's bodies, and I didn't defend myself properly. So I suffered from it, and I lost the fight. And my goal is to learn from my mistakes and do better, and just keep doing my thing. Well, Aiden, I wish you the best of luck. Um, I'm honestly just been working combos. Like, I like the 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 3, 2 roll. That's what I've been kind of practicing, just kind of like doing my thing. But I also like 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 3 roll. 1, 2, 1, 2 roll. 1, 1. I don't know. I kind of like been practicing a lot of combos. Yeah, yeah. I work out my neck, but I just kind of like those combos where you're really, like those are my favorite. Kind of like moving your head from side to side and then being able to duck under all fast. When they try to counter. Yeah, I work out my neck. Dragon flags. What are dragon flags? I don't know what that is. No, I've never been KO'd. The closest I think, like maybe I don't know, I don't know what it's like to be knocked out, so I don't know. But I got shook up pretty hard by this guy who just got out of prison once. He came to spar me at my gym, and his name was Soul, and Soul was pretty strong. And I don't know if it was an ego thing because he just got out of prison or what, but I was only like 19. I think maybe, yeah, no, I was like 19 or 20, something like that. And he was probably like 32 or 34. And I remember it started getting really dirty, and he was like shorter than me, and he was like holding me behind the head and like hitting me with uppercuts and stuff. So and like he was like getting low and like holding me and like boom, boom, like kind of like that, and hold me behind my head. And we were just supposed to be boxing, so I kind of returned the favor, and I my bad, pardon my language, but I held him down. I pushed his head down, and I would like hit him with uppercuts and hooks, and then like I would kind of like trade hands and like try to hit him with like crosses and stuff, and then he'd try to run away. It was kind of a brawl. Ended up like really just thinking to myself like I'm gonna have to really like bite down. No, I wasn't in prison. This guy had just gotten out of prison. Um, like I think he was just gotten out of prison like 2 or 3 weeks prior to this, and he had been an amateur boxer before prison, and I think he just wanted to get back into it, but he got in trouble for the distribution of narcotics. So I like, I worked with some guys that knew him on this hemp farm that I was working at. A lot of the guys that I worked with were like Soreños and MS-13 gangsters. Um, and I'm just like a little white boy um, who wanted to be a boxer. So a lot of them definitely tested my character. You know what I mean? They tested whether or not I was meant for this life. They'd rough me up. They'd make me bring my boxing gloves to work, and we'd spar and we'd train together and stuff. And anyway, my one Sloveno homie told me that his buddy, who was an amateur boxer, was getting out of prison, and that he could get me the connect, and we could get into some sparring. And I was like, I'm more than down. Guy showed up, and uh, I had fought some tough guys before, but like nobody's so dirty. Like and I don't like know when it started getting so rough, man. Guy like, eh, you know, he started like really like getting nasty with the fight, stepping on my toes. Um, he has probably even hit me with low blows. I can't remember because this was so long ago. Um, Honestly, it was like some of the first couple few years that I had been boxing, and so I was not that good. And I had to really hold my own against him. I think he probably beat me, to be honest, but it's like sparring, so I don't like necessarily say like anybody wins or loses in sparring. But if I had to say somebody won, he definitely did. He beat my ass, but I fucking, I really, really, I did my best to try to fight him because I don't know. It was a pride thing for real, but everybody was really impressed by me. They said I did all right, and I never saw that guy again, and I stuck with it. So resilience and persistence, perseverance, that's been my strong suit for a long time, and I'll keep up with that forever. Tom Price, thank you so much for watching. Do you think I could beat him now? He's probably older now. Like I said, he was like 32 back then, and I was like 19 or 20, and I'm 25, 26 now. So I bet you he's like 38 maybe. Like close to being 40. And I'm not saying like that age matters in that much of a sense, but people who get out of prison don't always live the healthiest lifestyles. I know he was in a corrections facility when we did our rounds and stuff. Um, but some people are really healthy at an older age. So I'll say that like if he stuck with it, he'd still probably have a better chance or a good chance against me. But I think he was probably at his peak then, just getting out of prison. He was working out every day, had all that free time to himself to just pump out reps and do whatever it is that he was doing. And he was a very fit guy, but he couldn't put me down. He didn't knock me down at all. He tried really hard, but I haven't been knocked down since I fought Earthling 7. That was the last time I've been knocked down. Um, oh, and when I got my rib broken in sparring against my buddy Omar at Grizzly MMA, we were sparring. He's a pro, well, semi-pro, amateur pro. I'm not sure exactly sure the rank, like how the ranking system in MMA, but I know he isn't an amateur, but he's like not exactly like a pro, like UFC level. You know what I mean? He's like a semi-pro amateur boxer, or I mean, MMA fighter. And Omar, me and him were going pretty hard, and I remember I landed this lead hook and this rear uppercut, and I pulled his punch or some shit, and he dodged, and I went for my own rear uppercut, another double up on that rear uppercut, and he dodged and hit me with an uppercut again of his own. And oh man, it cracked my rib, and I think I had like maybe 30, maybe it was like 15 seconds, who knows, of the round left. And I finished the round, good, strong with him, and I fell to the ground, and my coach laughed at me. My coach at the Grizzly MMA. He was a pro champion kickboxer. His name is Miguel Hurtado. And he laughed and he just he said, "Hey, what happened?" And I said, like, "I think I broke my rib," kind of like writhing on the ground. And he was like, "Oh, you went the rest of the round with a broken rib?" Like, because I went to a knee and got back up after like 6 seconds or whatever and finished the round because that hurt. And um, Omar was proud of me. And he said that was pretty awesome. He couldn't tell that I was that hurt, like that I had a broken rib, but that took like 4 or 5 months to heal back to normal. No, you don't get paid for amateur boxing. Short guys, those short guys can fight because they have to all their life. Um, I don't know, like it's relative to like your uh circumstances in life, man. I'm not gonna like put down anybody's struggle. Um, like I think fat guys are pretty tough because they get bullied a lot. So that's just my opinion on that. Mike Tyson was really aggressive though, and he was a pretty short boxer, so I'll give you that. He was one of the greatest to ever do it. My girlfriend's workout machines in the background. Which one? The Great Pyrenees that's shaved to look like a poodle, or the one on the couch? My woman is the one that makes my dog look like that. Huh, Doge? I think LeBron James did 9/11. I don't know nothing about LeBron James, bro. Straight up, like, what do you want me to say? An oiled up twerk off, bro? What are you? This guy's diddying up in this place. No, Diddy can remain in prison. I don't want that guy out on the streets with children still being in existence. If children still exist, Diddy should just probably stay locked up. Alleged, but like, I mean, how many times can somebody say that, like, some different people say that you did something before, like, everybody believes you did it, you know? If he's framed, that's a horrible injustice to the world, but I highly doubt it at this point. It's going to be a mistrial. Hmm. I'm not a cop, or am I like in the justice system? I do believe everybody's innocent until proven guilty, but I also do believe that we have the right to detain people if, you know, like to a certain degree. Like if you were said to have robbed a bank, obviously, and there's not even a single little bit of evidence, maybe, you know, doesn't matter that much. But yeah, I'm a street beefs fighter. I'm not a street fighter. I'm just a street beefs fighter. I wish I was Tony Stark. But my point is, I guess, like, if somebody said you did something and, like, suspicious, you know, things start popping up that could possibly relate to said circumstances unfolding that are alleged, that's a tricky situation, you know what I mean? And I gotta really, like, air out the subject saying that, like, do I know that he did it? No, I don't. Do I believe he did it? Eh, no, it's not in his favor, that's for sure. Did he beat his girl on camera? Surveillance. Yeah, that's a good point. See, I don't know much about like judicial law, you know, um justice, blah blah blah, court system. I don't know, dude. Have you seen some of the videos of the way he talked to little kids? It's like, who says things like that? You know what I mean? The way he talked to Justin Bieber and all those little children. What was that one girl that came out and said, wasn't she like in a relationship with Diddy and said that he did like a bunch of really off the wall stuff to her? um, and you know, like it was like, yeah, I don't know the chick's name, but out of pocket, you know what I mean? I like boxing. I don't like bare knuckle. I think those guys are um, great fighters. Don't get me wrong, but it's more of like kind of a game of chances. You know, with the bare knuckle, the skill is a lot harder to improve upon. One, because the longevity of the sport is so short lived, you can't really do much to improve upon something that you're only going to be doing for 3, 5 years before you have to retire. Um, so I don't know. It's just one of those things. There's like, I'm friends with a lot of bare knuckle fighters on Facebook, and they can only have like 1, 2 fights a year. at most, because they get so messed up from like the punch, the skin to skin contact and stuff, and it just, they get so tore up, and their fists just swell up like balloons. I'm friends with Tyler Goodjohn. I'm friends with Tony Soko, I believe is his name. He's one of the um, champions in the bare knuckle boxing league. I'm friends. Tony Soto, maybe is his name. Uh, but like, I got a lot of these friends on Facebook that are champion pro bare knuckle fighters, and they don't do long in the sport because it takes such a toll. So, as for a boxer, because they don't get cut as much, their hands don't get so destroyed. You know what I mean? Um, they have a lot longer careers, so they can learn more, they can practice more, they can fight more, and those bare knuckle fighters, they doesn't pan out the same. Like, and that even translates to MMA. MMA people have longer careers than people in bare knuckle fighting, and bare knuckle fighting is still a pretty relatively new sport, so I guess we won't know too much. But I know that bare knuckle fighting's been a thing since like 2018, and the people that were the champions in 2018, nobody really sees nowadays because they can't fight anymore, and they should be in their primes, and that's just really how it is. I don't care for Andrew Tate. I don't think he's even that great of a fighter. Well, happy birthday to Uncle Nick. My thoughts on Jesus Christ, don't really have an opinion. Why, what's up? That's good, man. From what your religion says, Jesus loves you too, and that's good. That's cool, man. Me, I don't have a religion. I'm not necessarily atheist, but I don't follow any sort of congregation of any sort. Yeah, have a good one, man. No, I don't do bare knuckle boxing. I just do boxing, regular boxing. Alright, guys. I'm probably gonna hop off here. It was really great talking with all of you. If there's any questions you have before I leave, I'm more than willing to answer and do my best to, uh, you know, express myself to you all. Why don't I support Andrew Tate? Um, I wouldn't say I do or don't support him. I just don't care for the guy. I think that he was an alright fighter. He had some good kicking. Uh, he had kind of like a really weird hands down style. he kept his chin up a lot, and that reflected poorly because he got hit really, really hard, and I guess it did something to his eye, resulting in a retirement. So, if you ask me, I think that, you know, that's all I have to say about the opinion of him. That's all I know about his fighting. I don't know anything about all that other stuff that happened to him. I've heard a lot of conspiracies, and they kind of go pretty deep. Um, but so far, for all I know, is those are conspiracies or whatever, and um, that's all I know about the subject. I don't even know the real topic or like whatever is happening in that sense. But Moses Atumai. I don't know who that is. Is it like the boxer? Is that who you're talking about? Like there was like a boxer with a name like that, and he is like Samoan or something like that. I don't know. Well, anyway, guys, it is like 127. Yeah, that is what I thought. A heavyweight boxer. I don't know how you say his name. I do recognize that. I've seen a couple of his fights. Apoatai or Opataya or whatever. Is that the same dude or is that a different guy? Atumai or Opataya? Uh, yeah, I've been paying attention. I don't know too much about him yet. I know they're up and comers. I've been watching a lot of Richard Torres. I like his boxing. He's pretty good, and he just uh, won that last fight that he was in against a pretty fucking strong ass dude. So, anyway, much love, guys. Have a great night.